people, the corporate underworld sounds like something that can only exist in movies or video games. Like stories conjured by conspiracy theorists, obscure indie documentaries, or your very political and racist uncle at family gatherings. I'm here to tell you that yes, this underworld does exist. Personally, I like to see it as its own society filled with people who run businesses that may not see eye to eye with much of the general public. It's quite an unruly society, one that isn't bounded by the laws of normal society. So you might wonder, how is it that such a society has yet to collapse? You're incomprehensible. Me? Now that's incomprehensible. I'm the most comprehensible person there is. The green woman fuming over there is Lady Bai, current owner of Wildn't, while the purple man is the CEO of Terria Corporation, Kajitaka Terria. Hopefully I pronounced that right. It's not incomprehensible that you're the most incomprehensible person here right now for making such an incomprehensible accusations. Whew, said that word too many times. Well, incomprehensibly speaking, my very comprehensible accusations make the most comprehensible sense. Especially so when compared to your incomprehensible self's incomprehensible denials. God. Another man is sitting at the same meeting table watching the both of them bicker. Me, Azrael Harby. I probably butchered that. I'm so sorry. The head of the RS group and someone who really doesn't want to be here any longer. I've been sitting here listening to these two yell at each other for more than 3 hours. It's honestly amazing how they're still going. I also find it quite ironic that they're also the ones who suggested adding this calm ambient music to ease tensions when we have meetings. And yet here we are. Do you know what you're implying right now? You're actually accusing me of stealing from you? Despite what you might think of us at this given time, the three of us are some of the most prominent figures in that society I mentioned earlier. And we're also one of the reasons this underworld society is yet to collapse. While it is true that normal laws do not work well with us, it does not mean that we do not have our own rules to follow. Honor amongst these is the main value we all uphold, when put in simpler terms. If someone were to go against those values, there will be consequences, and we are those consequences. Who else would do it? Anyone who hates you, which, last I checked, was everyone on this damn planet. How dare. I'll have you know, people love me. I do not know where Kajitaka's confidence comes from, but it's quite unfounded. Lady Bai is not wrong to say that the Terras have an immense amount of enemies. Then again, I suppose the Terrias do have very good public image. But for anyone who knows a smidge about what they actually do, I think you're just projecting, dear lady. After all, it's quite obvious you're jealous of me and sweet Azrael here. So much so that you try to sabotage our good relationship. My right eye twitches at the horrendous pronunciation of my name. And people have told me Kajitaka doesn't do it on purpose. It's because he has a thicker accent. But I do not think an accent makes you say a name differently every single time you speak it. Anyways, there's something else in this sentence that made my eye twitch. A good relationship? With Kajitaka, it's hard to even know if he meant it seriously or as a joke. I don't even know what that stupid cargo of yours is. Not that she didn't deny she was jealous of my fictitious relationship with Kajitaka didn't escape me. You don't even know what it is to steal. We'll steal it. Right. Azrael? He turns to me, awaiting my approval. However, after receiving a stabbing glare from me, his expression softens. Once we finally realize I do not care. Do you see what you've done, woman? You've traumatized him so much he can't even speak anymore. Lady Bai turns to me and sighs too, giving me a very pity look. Only an imbecile would think that. He's obviously not speaking because he doesn't even know what to say when listening to the vile lies you're spreading. And then I realized I was in the presence of mind readers, albeit very bad ones. The reason I'm not speaking is because I truly can't care less about what's happening here. It's another waste of my time. For one thing, the cargo itself can be easily replaced, in my opinion. As long as Kajitaka agrees to send me another one, I don't mind paying him again. Previous cargo would be considered a loss, yes. That's how some businesses go sometimes. However, the Terra Man managed to find evidence that a Chinese ship was involved in stealing the cargo. So, of course, in true Terra fashion, he wanted to cause as much drama as he could in dealing with this. Admit it, you've always been bitter about this arrangement I had with A's clan, A's Chan. It's not even a mispronunciation anymore. It tears your soul apart knowing that we have a secret cargo exchange happening every 3 months, and you're not invited to it. I'm not? Well, from the way her face is reddening, it's quite obvious that she is. Also, just because a Chinese ship intercepted the cargo doesn't mean I have anything to do with it. In fact, here's our Kajitaka. Maybe you did it. Maybe you hired a Chinese ship to sabotage your little deal, so you can now openly blame me for it. Kajitaka rolls his eyes. And what good would that do for me? I'm the victim here. I wanted to point out that the true victim here is me, but if I speak up now, they'll force me to participate in this, whatever this is. So tired. Why are they still bickering? Suppose it's time to use my special talent. My ability to zone out anywhere for a short period of time. I discovered this talent of mine when attending one of my old roommates' lectures. Anyways, I hope they will finish their bickering when I'm done. Alright, what should I stare at? My phone. It was purely charged at the beginning of this meeting, but well, it's dead now. And of course, I don't have a way of charging it. I really want to go home. Logo for Wildn't, the biggest Chinese medicinal company in the world. Lady buys its head, they extend their expertise to working with Western clinical pharmaceutical companies. Very good business move that boosted their brand on the international level. Despite that, the company still primarily focuses on the traditional Chinese medicine, TCM, and provides treatments for those seeking it at their different branches. At least that's what's happening on the surface. True Wildn't, at least the one I know better, deals in drugs. They are one of the biggest providers of drugs within the drug trade, and as far as I know, they're very good at what they do. Not that I'm surprised, something they've been doing for 3 generations. This is where Lady Bai likes to tell us the double meaning of their company's name. Wildn't, when used as pharmaceutical company, takes on the meaning of the Hall of 100 types of effectiveness. Wildn't is one of the biggest players in the drug trade, can also mean the Hall of 100 Souls. 100 souls sounds like a cheap price to pay for a fantasy, yes? And your line of work is pretty cheap, but my company doesn't do much business with them, so I had to pay in souls. Yeah. Nor do I need to buy a fantasy. I'll go for my company. It's not as fancy or showy as the other two. Thinking about it now, I really don't see the point of these little flags. Somehow the other two thought it was a brilliant idea and insisted we had them during the meetings. Kajitaka even took the liberty of ordering one for my company, and I kept putting it off. I received a tiny flag along with the bill a few weeks ago. I don't think it cost $5,000 to make a small flag, but when looking at the bill, he charged a friendship fee. I wanted to ask him about it. I just paid the money and had my aide bring it along every time we have a meeting. That being said, our company has had our hands in more legal businesses as of late. I expected a lot of backlash from my predecessor and employees, but it seemed that everyone didn't mind. I suppose we're all tired of all the shady and dangerous dealings we used to do. I'm not naive enough to think that we'll ever be rid ourselves of what done in the past. No, for a fact we did a lot of horrible things. But I suppose I can try. Last flag. Itaria family banner. For many generations, the Itarias had slowly amassed their wealth and power through many means, making them one of the richest and most prominent families in Japan. It's hard to say what the Itaria Corporation does because they seem to have a hand in almost every industry you could think of. Previously, they invested heavily into artillery and weaponry. Now they're going big into the food industry, specifically bubble tea. Love bubble tea. Tea, also known as Itaria tea, started popping up in every corner of Japan and is now one of the most loved bubble tea brands in the world. Kajitaka is quite passionate about his tea, and he giggles every time he says it. And yet, even with all these side ventures, I know that the main source of income is the data and security firm run by Kajitaka himself. If every other one of Itaria's companies were to fall, they would still be fine if that one was unscathed. Can't even begin to imagine the types of things that company knows. There are many rumors about torture, blackmail, extortion, and other nefarious things going on in there. But every time Kajitaka is confronted by someone about it, he just smirks. The Itaria smirk. TM. Of course, no one ever has enough evidence. Despite how dramatic and eccentric Kajitaka might act, he's a top-tier businessman. It's the reason why, despite his personality, I'm so very open to doing business with his companies. Okay. The clock. I died about an hour ago. Damn. Lucky. I guess we might as well, refocus. I don't see anything else. Just go back into the meeting. Hopefully they've stopped. Yeah, they still going. The war starts out between our factions. You have the most to gain from it. You might be doing this to sell your stupid weapons and mercenaries. The tiger puts a hand to his mouth in shock. So this is what you think of me, Ladyby? Oh, I think much worse of you, believe me. I think I've had enough. I stand up, towering over the both of them. Yes, comrade, tell her what's what. Overcome your trauma and speak your mind. No, he's on my side. I'm going for a smoke. The other two watches her turn around and leave the meeting room. Is he coming back? Why? So he can be re-traumatized by how you stole from him? I close the door behind me. No one hear any more of whatever is going on inside. Feeling the worries so thick, I close my eyes and sigh heavily. Why can't I just have one day of peace? Just one. Sign again, take out a cigarette from my pocket and walk toward the soaking room. I walk briskly over and start to wonder why I even came here. Alright. Because Jabal insisted it. Speaking of the man, where is he? As with all other meetings, this time we had all arrived with our aides. Mandi came with Lady Bai, Ira with Kajitaka, and Jabal with me. Customary for the aides to be present for the meeting with their bosses. However, the three of them always seem to run off every single time we gathered. Well, I'll think about that later. I'm sure they have some good reason for it. One thing is I've reached the smoking room and I can finally have some peace and quiet. As I'm at the end of the room, I hear voices coming from inside. Damn it, I was hoping it'd be empty. Perhaps if I walked in and glared at them, they would leave. But what if instead they started to strike up a conversation? Cold chill climbs my spine just thinking about it. Sighing, I decided to stand outside and wait for people inside to go. Maybe they would finish the conversation soon and leave. I can hear the conversation from out here. I don't like the eavesdrop on people's conversations, but it sounds like Ira and Amandi. Perhaps I can finally find out what they're up to every time they leave us. You're surely about nothing to do with this, Amandi? Fairly certain. Yeah, that just means you're not 100% certain. Can't you verify it? Aren't you some kind of information whiz? I only know about things Lady Bai puts me in charge of. And so that means there's a possibility she did this without you knowing. Affirmative. Well, that could complicate things, doesn't it? And here I thought Lady Bai would tell her little prodigy everything. I am just one of her employees, nothing more than that. Lady Bi does not play favorites. Come on, Mondi. You can't actually believe that. When I hear Lady Bi can be quite subjective. I would suggest you refrain from seeking ill of my employer. She's now sitting boss, and I would trust any decision she makes. Loyalty will always lie with Lady Bi, and if you were to somehow imply that, man, you need to stop getting so defensive every time we talk about your boss. He was sad, fell into silence. And then, on an awkward note, maybe I should just leave. So our conversation made me feel uncomfortable too. Wait a minute. Only two of them in there. Only one person missed. Well. Find yourself a new hobby, sir? Turn to my right and see Jabal, my aide, standing there. Why are you eavesdropping? I was waiting. Sure. Waiting to hear some juicy gossip, I bet. Jabal and I have known each other for years, which is why he always speaks to me in such a casual tone. I do wish he would have a little bit more professionalism when speaking to me, my superior, in public. Wait a minute. Shouldn't you be at the meeting? No. Stop lying, sir. Technically, it isn't a lie. My presence there adds nothing of value to that conversation. Sir, the meeting is still ongoing. You have to be there. But, no buts, young man. Mark your unsmiling self back into that room right now. Are you going to say it's never ending and you feel like you'd rather not be there? This man knows me too well. Probably because you're not contributing. He sighed and softened his tone at me. I bet you spent the whole time sulking in that corner while the other kids are participating. The term kids is probably accurate when describing the behavior of those two at the meeting. But damn it, there's no reasoning with Jabal when he's in mother mode. And weirdly enough, I've never seen my good friend here go mother mode on his own son. The only person who has the privilege of being on the receiving end of mother mode is me, a grown adult male, who is also his boss. Just he's about to continue lecturing me, the door to the smoking room opens. Oh, it's two guys. I guess so. We're in there step outside, wondering what was happening out here. Mr. Al-Rabi? Youngest man there nods at me as a small greeting. Shouldn't he finish? Yeah. The boss has a for me. Mira looks at me with concern. Perhaps they think that my presence here means something bad has happened back at the meeting. They're still continuing. My boss just ran away. I mean, cleared his throat slightly. He's taking a small break and we'll be heading back right now. Never mind, said Jabal. And before you go, Mr. Yeah? I want to ask your opinion on the matter. Should have gone back to the meeting room when Jabal complained earlier. Come on, kid. Yuri gives me a soft look. We know how hard Mr. Al-Harbi works. Let him enjoy his small break. Look over at the short-statured man. Is he actually a reasonable person? In my profession, it's rare to see someone who is level-headed and sane. Meeting room was proof enough. But this means to be different. No. My boss loves questions. Ask away, Amandi. Yes. Can't believe I'm thinking this, but I missed it at meeting room. Was it gonna talk a Lady Bi bigger? At least they asked for my participation. And if they did, they would not mind if I did not respond. Mr. Al-Harbi, do you think Lady Bi could have done this? Think about it a little and nod. She has the means. My brows furrows and so do mine. Why are you looking at me like that? What on earth did I do to garner that reaction? All I did was answer truthfully. As much as I like your honesty, Mr. Al Harvey, I'm sure Lady Bi thinks very highly of you, and she would be quite upset. You guys will not hesitantly throw some suspicion her way. If I was the type of person who would whine and go, but you asked, I'll probably do that right now. In fact, I can't think of a young man in a ponytail who would say exactly that. But I'm not the type. Hopefully I can resolve this issue by staring at Mondi silently. Okay, if you know, you might not like the answer to something. Sometimes, it's better not to ask, okay? I might start taking a liking to this area person. No, my boss should have thought of this position a little more. You can't just be saying things that would throw up the peace between us like that. I might just start taking the hating to this Jabal person. Truly, this is a very sensitive topic. It would be quite hard for any of the three of them to give their comments on it. Ira nods. My boss is super serious this time, though. He's pulling out the big guns. Literally, the weaponry is cleaned out right now. And the worst bit? I don't even know where he put the weapons. I asked him all, and he said, I won't tell. Got my back hurts just thinking about it. The other two aides look at Ira with pity and pat his shoulder. It's alright. I'm sure we'll find it sooner or later. Hopefully before he does anything with it. I have my back. I truly do respect this Ira man. Been with Kajitaka for as long as I can remember, tossing before I got to my current position. I could barely tolerate Kajitaka, but Ira has to work with him every day. It's truly commendable that he's so normal, even after all that. Anyway, back to the topic. I think the boss is quite excited for a war. Well, that's not good. To be quite honest, Lady Bi is also very prepared to mobilize a lot of firepower and people to settle this. Very concerning. Three of them fell into silence, thinking about the whole situation morbidly. I only had one thing going through my head. I had no idea things were getting this complicated and serious. Am I not the actual victim here? Or are they having such a large reaction over some silly cargo? I sigh. Of course, I know very well it's not about the cargo. It's about the speed and using that speed as a way to start something bigger. Well, what do you think, sir? As the only non-bloodthirsty leader of the three, you have any suggestions? Try to go with a grunt. Mainly because I don't think I have too much to contribute to this conversation. I truly believe that the three of them would be able to come up with something better than anything I could. Especially with their combined experience of cleaning up after our three groups. Come on. Use your words. Glare at him. The three of you discuss ways to throw your bosses all the time here. There, I asked a good and legit question that's going to lead them off topic. This should buy me some time to think a little more. Because their plans are easy things like mass destruction. And we're all loyal to our bosses and would do almost anything for them. We also know when they're about to cross the line. It's actually part of the job, being able to know when an action is going to affect the action negatively and thus avoiding that action. And it's not like we're giving away any information here. We just ask for each other's opinions from time to time. It's very true. It didn't escape me that Jabal said almost nothing when I asked that question. He looked over at me and saw my questioning glance. Are you wondering why I had nothing to contribute to that answer, sir? Yes. That's because despite all your weird flaws, you're the most reasonable out of the three bosses. Never had to make weird plans behind you to stop you from doing something. All I have to do is just say it. These two on the other hand. Look over the other two men in the room. Face were grave as they both let out a big sigh. Unfortunate. Much as I do revere Lady Bi, I do wish you would see things from a more practical perspective sometimes. I don't think mine is capable of that. Jabal turns to me and shrugs. You see? I see two people who deserve and to get an enormous raise. Facts. Anyways, no sulking around. We should let Mr. Harvey get on with his break, and before Eric can finish his sentence, Hermione cuts him off. Really wish you would let him finish. Mr. LRB, this is turning into a very delicate situation, so very hard for you to give your take on it. But it would really help if you could give us any small input. Small input? Kid, come on, he can't say anything. Let the man rest. He hasn't even lit a cigarette in his hand the whole time. It's fine, smoking is bad for him anyways. I put my cigarette away. I'm not in the mood for any more. So, Mr. Albee, anything you could say? Look over at the serious young man. Reminding he doesn't feel like the type of person I could tolerate. His intense loyalty to Lady Bai and very serious nature makes him someone who I'd rather not deal with. He was needed for war, and they have one right now. To be settled, then there will be no basis for war. Look at the sight of disappointment on the three men's face, making me want to never speak again. Well, that's obvious. Right, that confirms it. I'm never speaking again. Well, Mr. Harvey's very obvious statement does make me wonder if there's a way we can stop this dispute. But I suppose people involved with the groups, it would be hard for any of us to do much about the situation. You're not in agreement. Yeah. Underlings don't want war. If we take any action to go against our boss's plans, it'd be treason. And right now, they're not in a position where they will listen to reason, are they? The other two men shake their heads. Levi is very angry. Kajutaka is very bored. I wonder why Kajutaka had wanted to push things this far, but it makes sense now. I know how scary it is to have the Teria man bored. Fortunately, Levi being angry is also not ideal. But a bored Teria is a Teria who is willing to do almost anything to get a laugh, even genocide. The only way to deal with this is to find the truth for the stolen cargo, which sounds like a pain. I have an idea. I look toward my aide, who has a sly smile on his face. I don't like this. The people of the factions can't do anything, but if we get someone outside of the factions? Monty frowns. Faction issues are solved within factions. You can't allow for outsiders to interfere. It's just too big of a risk to invite unwanted attention. Other than that, you never know if an outsider is working for another faction. Information is important in our work, and someone working on this case would have access to too much confidential data. The three men grow quiet. What Monty said is true. The reason why most conflict within factions is dealt with not with them, but with internally. You just never know who you can fully trust when the job is so volatile and dangerous. I mean, your own ways. All gaze turned towards the short-statured man. We have the means to keep a close watch on whoever this person or persons would be, right? What else to do is pay for your travel, accommodation, and food. Heck, even a credit card we can use to track them. It's not going to be hard to have our eyes on them at all times. And at the end, if we can't find a better way of shutting them up, we just kill them. It is very true. Definitely doable. In that case, I believe this idea can be discussed at length. I really don't like this. It sounds like a lot of annoying things are going to happen. It all turns to me and gives me a sly smile. Well, sir, hope you enjoy your break. I think it's about time you go back to that meeting room while we do the actual important work here. At this point, I'm too tired to even glare at him. He gets there between Amanda and Ira, that bit eating grin still on his face. So if he'll use us. He also to the smoking room. You there, Mr. Al Paraby? Bye, sir. And both of them also turn to get into the smoking room. Okay. What just happened? How am I more tired than I was before? I sighed again and wondered what I should do now. All I know is I don't want to go back to the meeting room. The three musketeers have somehow made the smoking room their new hideout. Damn it. How did it all come to this? Yeah, Allah, I'm tired. War, huh? Really don't want that to happen. I'm busy enough as it is. So, what do we think about this? A video? Better not be a prank. Just watch it. You ever wanted to solve a crime? Have you ever wanted to invade others' privacy? Have you ever wanted to annoy the absolute hell out of people by asking an insane amount of questions? And most importantly, do you want to do all that while getting out an all-expense-paid trip around the world? That's right, you heard us. Prepare to go to London, Shanghai, and Tokyo. If it seems like something you'd like, apply in the link below. Be quick, there's only one spot available. Nothing to worry about, this is totally legit. That's funny. Alright, so what do we think of that? 3 of them look at the video again. Took me 2 days to make this bad boy. Immaculate. Jabal smiles at this word. It's straight to the point. There's no fluff to distract people from what we want to convey. Jabal nods proudly. That was my artistic vision all along. I do have something to say though. Jabal can't help but glare at the short-statured man who immediately explains himself. I think it's awesome, by the way. Like, this is some big studio budget quality here. Go on. But I wonder if the last bit at the end is suspicious. Which last bit? The one that says there's nothing to worry about. This is totally legit. Yes. But I specifically wrote that there's nothing to worry about. I can't see why anyone would be suspicious right after those reassuring words. Agreed. There are signs. Mine's serious personality makes him believe everything he reads, and Jabal are probably too protective of his own work to realize how dodgy that is. But it's still better than anything Gira could have made. And he should be grateful for that. You know what? I'm probably just being too harsh. Jabal, my good man, you're truly the artist amongst us. Beaming with pride, Jabal nods happily. Alright, time to put this on the internet with people to apply. Swiftly, where on the internet are we putting it? 3 of them fall silent. Me too. YouTube. Wildn't. Reddit. Emails. 3 of them fall silent again. It looks like they have much more to discuss about this matter. In fact, it might even be a few months before they'll even be able to find someone to take on this job. So, you dear reader? Yes, you. If you want to help these 3 men find a detective and stop a war from happening, you support them at it's money so we can make games, please and thank you. It has the link right there. Should also be in the description. One big thank you for playing our small little prologue. Hope you had fun. Yeah, that was nice. So that is Mafia T. Anything in regards to this game, I'll be putting it in the description below, so y'all have access to that and more. If you like this video, of course, don't hesitate to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And with that being said, hope y'all had a good day, a good yesterday, and better tomorrow. And I'll catch y'all in the next video.